I've spent the last 20 years analyzing the global restaurant business from the inside out. I've studied the consumer habits and actions that feed this business every day. Innovation is found in places where few might look. It's where the real heartbeat of the restaurant business lies. Sometimes it's beneath the known Michelin stars or the glitz and the glamour of the posh addresses of the best restaurant districts in the business. I'm Paul Barron, and this is my show. And I'm in search of amazing food, stellar service, and that unforgettable experience. Welcome to Table 42. So tonight we're in Bar Agricole. It's the Mission District inside San Francisco. And there's kind of a food renaissance actually going on in the city. We've seen upstarts to longtime chefs really start to evolve the food scene here. These guys are showing up on our list, and they've done it a few times. From what I understand, this menu changes daily. So the chef is really starting to use a lot of the local produce, a lot of the local proteins with farms around the area. Okay, here we go. Roasted lamb with shelling beans, Hungarian peppers, red celery, and capers. That's got to be a tapenade. This might be kind of interesting to see. Lamb is one of my favorite dishes. All right, thank you. So as you can see, this is clearly one of those menus and one of these dishes that is probably getting all the accolades from these consumers, which is giving these guys great scores on the Foodable Top 25 list. It looks amazing. We have to dig in. Cheers. All right, here we are in Bar Agricole with Chef Melissa. Great, and thanks so much for letting us come in your kitchen tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
Melissa, before we get started, let's learn a little bit about you and kind of how'd you get into the culinary field?
I went to fine art school in Philadelphia and realized that didn't have the discipline to make a living painting. So I went to culinary school and ended up really liking it.
Wow.
I worked in Italy on a sheep farm and in a osteria in Piemonte.
Cool.
And that's where I really discovered the beauty of the simplicity. You don't have to do too much to it as long as you start with a really nice ingredient.
Yeah, so that's kind of your mantra really in terms of your cooking style. You seem to have very simple but elegant dishes that really introduce a lot of interesting flavors. So I can't wait to try some of these. What are we going to look at tonight?
I'm going to grill quail. This quail is from Devil's Gulch Ranch in Nicasio in Marin.
Okay.
We're going to grill it. It has all the little bones still in there, so
oh, wow.
Lots of finger food.
Flavor, yeah. Great.
And then that'll be with some sweet and hot peppers, like a pepperonata, sort of a pepper stew. With these late summer peppers are really good right now. And then some purslane, which is a succulent. It's a green and it's a real like juicy kind of cucumbery flavor.
All right, Melissa, well, let's get this one going.
All right. Next, we're gonna have a whole roasted lamb leg, and we'll slice into that. I think cooking the lamb leg on the bone really keeps it nice and moist, and you get a really good medium rare all the way through.
Yeah.
And then plus you get the nice smoky flavor from the fire. Put that on the plate. It goes really well with these fresh shelling beans that are in season right now. Those you just cook with a little celery and garlic. Pretty simple because the beans are so delicious themselves. The tomato. We just peel it and then we cook it in some olive oil, like kind of poach it in olive oil. So it's sort of like a stewed tomato.
Oh, nice.
But it still keeps its shape. And then these are, the salsa is a green coriander, so it's the seed from the cilantro plant.
So swapping up the menu every day, how creative you have to be to kind of come up with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit like a progression, you know, at the beginning of the week, maybe we'll put on a dish like this, and then the next day we'll switch, you know, one or two things about it, but it'll still kind of have the same feel. And then by the end of the week or by the end of 2 weeks, like little things have changed, but you really like figure out what goes the best with each ingredient.
So it seems
it's
like almost like self-experimentation throughout the week. You get a chance to try some different ingredients. That would be fun to me, I think. So what's up next for us?
Next is farinata, which is a chickpea flour pancake from Liguria in Italy.
Yeah.
And it's a vegetarian, gluten-free, kind of crispy pancake. Chopped up a bunch of wild nettles and stirred that into the batter. And then we fried the batter in olive oil on top of the stove, so it has a nice crisp bottom and the top is still nice and soft.
Oh, interesting.
And then we take some fresh goat cheese from Pennyroyal Creamery, which is in Innerson Valley. And a couple of dollops of that on the pancake, and then a nice refreshing salad of fennel and Belgian endive and some chrysanthemum, which is kind of an herbaceous green.
When you are, kind of developing the menu here at Bar Agricole, where kind of the inspirations come from?
The farms that I work with, there's maybe 4 or 5 farms that I order directly from, and their products are always, really high quality, and they'll be honest with me about how they are, that particular week. And then the city itself there's so many exciting restaurants, and a lot of friends that are chefs are always talking about the new things they're trying.
What has been the feedback that you get from guests?
A lot of people like how simply prepared the vegetables and the meat are, and just how the true flavors of the ingredients can shine through. And it's a little bit harder than it seems to do, so that everything is nice and balanced and cooked correctly and exciting to eat. But I think that's something that a lot of the guests really enjoy.
Melissa, this has been a blast back here in the back of Bar Agricole with you and your team. Thanks so much for letting us stop in here on an episode of Table 42.
Yeah, thank you.
So we had a chance to stop in here at Bar Agricole, spend some time with Melissa in the back. Wow, amazing menu items that she was able to show us. Interesting ingredients, great proteins, and great to meet you, Stephen. Thanks for letting us come in.
Thanks for being here. It's great to have you.
So Stephen, obviously you guys are trying to pair a pretty interesting menu with a pretty interesting design. So when a guest walks into Bar Agricole, what do you think they're expecting to see and find out?
Yeah, a lot of people read about the design before they come here, and we're certainly known for that. I mean, when the restaurant opened 4 years ago, it won a James Beard Award right out of the gate for restaurant design. These are individually hand-blown glass tubes. They're a main focal point in the restaurant, and you can't help but notice them whenever you come in. They're by a local artist named Nicholas Weinstein that does these installations around the world. This space housed Jackson Brewery's warehouse for many years, and then it kind of fell into disrepair, but was still at its heart and at its core a very interesting architectural space. So people are expecting something that will really speak to them architecturally as much as the food. It's not an over-the-top space that's filled with plush interiors. It's a lot of kind of raw materials. There's concrete, wood, and metal that all kind of play together to speak of Soma in the South Market neighborhood.
And it kind of has this feel of simplicity, but kind of this very unique, elegant design, much like what Melissa's menu is. So tie us into the bar a little bit. How is this all kind of brought together to make such a space here?
Absolutely. So, I mean, a common question is, who is the mixologist that is creating the menu? And we're under the belief that you don't need a mixologist. There have been many great bartenders in the past that have created cocktails that are still very good today. So the focus is on really selecting ingredients that we can stand behind and feel proud to serve, that you can trace their origins all the way back to the field. And that's really where the name Bar Agricole comes, which literally translates to farm bar.
So you guys have, of course, a great dining room, but you also have an awesome patio.
You know, it's a beautiful garden setting. All of the herbs that grow in that garden are used in our cocktail program, and that area has really kind of come into be over the last 4 years, and it's really a huge asset.
All right, Stephen, thanks so much for letting us stop in. I had a chance to come in the other night. I had a great time at the restaurant. Amazing ambiance, excellent bar program. This has been a blast spending some time with you guys here.
Thanks for being with us, Paul. It's great to have you.